folks, welcome back. It's another edition. I just keep doing it. Boozing with Jude. Good to see you again. Today, a very timely drink. I'm still doing the winter drinks. This one uses rye and it's called the Filibuster. Timely because the filibuster is much in the news right now. I'm not sure what the drink has to do with the filibuster, except, it was named the Filibuster. A guy named Eric Adkins, who's a bartender at Heaven's Dog and the Slanted Door in San Francisco. I think it came out in the early 2000s, but it was in the book that my brother and sister-in-law gave me on winter cocktails because it uses rye. So there's not like a big history to it, but it gives me a chance to talk about the filibuster, the actual, what is the filibuster? I'm not a politician and I certainly am not a political science expert, but since the Senate is trying to do away with the filibuster, I thought, well, let's talk about what it is, especially for folks who aren't American and even those who are and find, our politics just too crazy to spend much time with. So if you've ever seen the film, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Jimmy Stewart is like awesome. He's like amazing. I love Jimmy Stewart. Well, I'm Jimmy Stewart. Okay, that was really horrible. But he plays this just normal guy, a good guy, working with some boys' farm camp in Montana, and a senator dies, and they want to find some, bumpkin that they can put in the Senate that they can control. They being, the bad guys, the bad Senate guys. So the most famous filibuster scene probably in film is Jimmy Stewart filibustering and until he passes out pretty much, he collapses. And so that's what the filibuster is. So it goes back to like the 1840s. And, in America, we have our legislative branch is made up of the House of Representatives and the Senate, right? And you could filibuster in either, but the representatives, the House grew too big. So they did away with the filibuster, but it still exists in the Senate. And basically, it's a good and bad thing. It's something that can block legislation or delay legislation. And that just means like a senator can get up, basically debate. There's no ending to the debate. You can speak as long as necessary on any issue. And that's what a filibuster is. So if one side wants to pass legislation, the other side doesn't want to pass it as written, they get up and they talk. And they talk. And they talk. Sort of like I'm doing right now. They talk nonstop. Who was famous? So I love Louisiana politics. You really should get into it. So back in the 30s, a guy named Huey P. Long, he was a senator from Louisiana, and he was famous for a filibuster. He filibustered for 15 hours once, and for a good reason, because he felt that the legislation they were trying to pass favored the rich over the poor. So he really angered his colleagues in the Senate by filibustering because he was like reciting Shakespeare and telling you the recipe for his famous pot liquors, whatever those are, I don't know, and people quite enjoyed it. The record, however, goes to a South Carolina senator by the name of Strom Thurmond, pretty famous, probably the last Confederate senator. So basically, he filibustered for 24 hours and 18 minutes. Yes, 24 hours and 18 minutes, sadly, against the Civil Rights Act of 1957. And he prepared himself. He dehydrated himself so, he wouldn't have to go to the bathroom too much by sitting in a sauna for a couple of days. And he had a few people in cahoots with him that would take over the floor. I think he actually did go to the bathroom twice. But so they just talk. They just talk and hope that it goes away. So, at any rate, that's what the filibuster is. Like I said, right now, I think the Democrats are the majority and they want to do away with the filibuster. I'm not going to, take sides in this. I have my opinion. I think it does serve a cause, and I think it's an interesting and time-honored tradition. But hey, there you go. I'm all about the drink. The drink is made with rye whiskey. Today, I'm using Bullet. How do you pronounce it? Like the ammunition, son. So the Bullet Green label is the rye whiskey, straight American rye whiskey, and it is in the family of sours. So you might enjoy it if you like sours. And what makes it a little different is that it has maple syrup in it. So instead of like simple syrup, we're using maple syrup because we think about maple syrup in the winter, pancakes you know, keeping us warm. So we're going to put the egg white in it to make it sour. We're going to serve it straight up in a coupe glass that's chilling. It's chilling. It's been chilling in my freezer, and now it's chilling in my ice bucket. So what you're going to do is we're going to put the ingredients in first, and we're going to dry shake it and hope we don't shake it all over ourselves in order to emulsify the egg. And if you remember, the egg, what's the word I'm trying to think of? The egg makes it foamy. It gives it great texture. So that's how. So here we go. We're going to take our rye whiskey, and we're going to put 1 3/4 ounces in our shaker. Excuse me, 1.5 ounces. 1.5 ounces. You know what? You want to put in 1 3/4? Why not? Go to town. 1.5 ounces of our rye whiskey. Okay, just got some in my mouth. Bullet, like the ammunition, son. Use whatever rye you like. It's a rye whiskey sour. Okay, and then we're taking our maple syrup. We're going to do 1/2 ounce of maple syrup, and I'm just about finished with my Crown Madagascar vanilla maple syrup. But you know, get some nice maple syrup that you like. The next bottle I got in there is pure Wisconsin maple syrup. Not that I'm from Wisconsin or a fan, and I poured in too much. I said 1/2 ounce. I was just about to put in a whole ounce of maple syrup in there. You don't want to do it. Well, you know, if you like it sweet, go crazy. So 1/2 ounce of maple syrup. Yeah. I got my mind on Strom Thurmond. What a bad guy. What was he thinking? Anyways, okay, so 1/2 ounce of maple syrup, 3/4 ounces of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I have a little bit here. Man, that's good. I could just drink maple syrup out of the jar. So 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice. And that's what makes it the sour. And then we're going to throw in our fresh egg white. Remember, if you have a problem with egg whites, okay, don't use it. But it does make it a great, you know, great texture and foamy. And if you get in fresh eggs and keep them cold, don't let it touch the shell, the outside of the shell when you're taking it out. You should be okay. Just a reminder that if you're using a Boston shaker, the egg white, the ice in there, there's no ice in there. So that's what makes it cold, and that's what puts the seal on it. So shake it close to your body, or you're going to get egg all over your face. And shake it for about 20 seconds to emulsify it. I'm waiting for Maxie to bark because Big Duke, the Great Dane, just walked by the window, and Max is pretty interested in that. She's being really good. She's not barking. Okay, see, so this is really loose. So shake it close to body, 20 seconds, get that egg emulsified. I'm getting egg on my face. I really am. Okay, so, and then we're going to add the ice. And we'll shake it for another 10 or 15 seconds to get it all mixed in. Creamy. There's Duke again. Max, Duke's outside. There's a window right here. Duke is massive. Duke is massive, massive, massive Great Dane. And there are 3 Great Danes in this complex. And Max plays with them. And I get nervous because they're big. So we're going to shake till the cows come home now. Enough about Duke and Max. We'll do it. Okay. Whew. We're back to the old, how do we get this off again? It's been a long time since I haven't been able to get this off. We'll probably have to pause this while I try to get it off. So that just goes to prove that, you know, getting cold makes the seal. Whereas like when it was not cold with no ice, it was splashing all over me. Probably better to use in that case, maybe like, you know, the regular shaker I have that's just has the cover on it instead of these two. It stays together better. But hey, you know, Bob's your uncle. All right, so we're going to double strain this into our coupe glass. Double strain because we don't, just in case there's any globs of egg white in there, which there shouldn't be, or, you know, even the lemon juice, you know, to keep the pulp out of it. So we'll just double strain that in our glass. And it is very foamy and lovely. Taking a while. voila. So just gonna, there we go. So we can get it all out because, you know, whatever is clogging it up is clogging it up. And I want all my like alcohol-y goodness in there. Okay, so I used my little muddler. There's still more in there. Okay, use my little muddler to get that out. And here we go. Now, we're not going to garnish it, but we are going to decorate it a little bit. We're going to use a couple Angostura bitters on the top, just because it's pretty and it goes well. So, give it a little decoration there. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the filibuster. I'm going to dedicate this to our country. God knows we need it. So here's to our senators. You know, guys, pull together and get us out of the mess we're in. You know, and if you need to stop and have a cocktail to make you work better, by all means do it. So here's to you. Salute. Yummy. Okay, so I love rye now. I've become like a rye fan. And it does kind of just perk you right up. And the maple syrup is just fab in there. So, you know, give yourself a shot. Make one. Enjoy it. You know, sit by the fire and pray for better weather. And then we'll see you next time, probably with another winter cocktail. Until then, thanks for joining me. Have a good one. Maxie says bye. Duke says bye. See you.